learn about simplex method in linear programming problem. So let's see one example. Here is the example. Maximize function f is equal to 2x plus 3y subject to x plus 2y is less than equal to 10, 2x plus 5 is less than equal to 40, and these are the constraints. So here we have to maximize function and these are the constraints. So what we have to do, we will make these constraints an equation, as an equation. So x plus 2y is less than equal to 10 becomes equation by using the slack variable. We are adding slack variable, different slack variable in these inequalities. We can see here we are adding s1 x plus 2y plus s1 is equal to 10, 2x plus y plus s2 is equal to 40. So here we are adding some positive slack variable to for converting this constraint as an equation. Here we can see use a different slack variables to write each constraint as an equation with positive constant on right side. So we are adding these slack variables. Next, what we are doing, we will set up a simple matrix. So first we have to bring all the variables on the left side of this function. So this function become minus 2x minus 3y plus f is equal to 0, because we are bringing this variable on left side of the equation. So this objective function becomes, here it is maximize f in minus 2x minus 3y plus f is equal to 0. Here the coefficient of f is 1 when we are setting up the simplex matrix. So here it will look like this. X, these are x, y, s1, s2 and f. X variable take 1, 2, s. This is the first equation, this is the second equation, and this is the third equation, which we are putting in the form of simple matrix. So here the coefficient of x is 1, then here it is 2, coefficient of x is 2, then y variable coefficient of y is 2 in first equation and coefficient of y in 1 in second equation. Then s1, coefficient of s1 is 1, so here it is, and in this second equation it is 0. In s, for s2 here it is 0, and for s2 coefficient of s2 is 1 in second equation. Then for variable f, here is 0, here is 0. So we have seen these two equations. These are two equations which we have written in the matrix form, and this is the augment column. Here we are putting this constant 10 and 14 by separating this matrix by bar. Then last row is objective function. We are writing objective function in the last row. Here it is minus 2, coefficient of x, coefficient of y is minus 3. There is no s1 and s2 in this equation, so s1 is 0, s2 is 0, and coefficient of f is 1. And here on right side it is 0 constant, so constant is written here. So we have to, what we are doing, we have to set up the simple matrix, put the objective function in the last row with all variable on the left and coefficient 1 for f. We have to remember these steps. Next we have to find the pivot. For that, what we have to do, we will come in the last row and see which is the most negative entry. So here we can see the most negative entry in this last row is minus 3, most negative entry. So the column associated with this entry become pivot column. So this is our pivot column. Now what we have to do, the positive coefficient in this pivot column when divides the constant in the augment gives smallest, whichever is giving smallest quotient become pivot entry. Here we can see that this is the row 1, this is the constant of the augment. When this pivot column entry divides the constant 10, we get row 1 quotient, we get 10 by 2, 5. Again, this is the row 2. If this constant 14 is divided by 1, this pivot column entry, we get 14 by 1, 14. What we have to do, that we will see that which is the smallest in these two questions. So here we can see that 5 is the smallest one among 5 and 14. So this 5 is coming in the row 1. So row 1 becomes the pivot row constraint. Then we will circle the pivot entry. This is a pivot column, and because row 1 constraint is a pivot row constraint, so this 2 becomes the pivot entry, which we will circle. Next, so we can see this, that the positive coefficient in the pivot column that gives the smallest quotient when it divides the constant of the augment in that constraint row is pivot entry. Next step, we have to use row operations to make the pivot entry a 1 and all other entries in the pivot column 0. This makes the variable basic. So what we have to do, we have to use row operations for making the pivot entry 1 and all other entries in the pivot column 0. So we are doing these row operations. A, multiply row 1 by half. B, multiply new row R1 by -1 and add to row 2. That is this steps you have to do. Minus R1 plus R2 gives R2. This becomes new row. And why we are doing this? Because we have to bring 0 at every place in pivot column except at the pivot entry. Here at the pivot entry place we have to bring 1, which is circle. Next, multiply new row by 3 and add to row 3. That is 3R1 plus R3 gives R3. Here it is. You can see that in the last row, row 3, this is row 1, this is row 2 and this is row 3. In the row 3, what we are doing, we are multiplying row 1 by 3 and then adding row 3 so that we are getting new row, third row. And again, what is the use of this? That numerical entries in the last row are the indicators of what to do next. So we are doing these steps for making pivot entry 1 and other pivot entries in the pivot column 0. By doing these row operation, we are landing to this simple matrix. Again, these indicators will tell what to do next. So here, this is the fifth step. The numerical entries in the last row are the indicators of what to do next. As I said, if there is negative indicators, return to step 3. If all the indicators are positive, 0, then an optimal value is obtained. Here we can see by using these row operation, we are getting this simplex matrix. Again we can see this is the last row as an indicator. Here we can see this is again we are getting negative entry. So if there is negative indicator, return to step 3. So we have to again do the row operations, and till up to that till all the indicators are positive or become positive, or we can get 0, then only we'll stop this step. Otherwise we will go back to step 3 and step 4. So here we can see that we are getting again negative entry. So this become new pivot column. Again we are using step 3. We will see this augment constant. We divide this coefficient, positive coefficient, and we will get here 10 quotient, and again this constant by 3/2. Now we have reached last step. We can see in this step that indicators are showing that all entries are zeros. Sorry, indicators all 0 or positive. So here some zeros are there and some positive entries are there. So our solution is complete because there is no negative entry we are seeing in this indicator last row. Here we can see that the numerical entries in the last row are the indicators of what to do next. The new pivot entry is 3/2. Now we have to read the basic variable and value of the objective function. Here we can see that the non-basic variable are S1 and S2. Basic variables are X and Y. Basic variable are X and Y, and non-basic variable are S1 and S2. So F is maximized at 18 by setting all non-basic variable to 0. We get X as we get basic variable and Y as 2, and here we can see that basic variable X we get 6. So this is the solution, and function is maximized at 18. So you can read the basic variable and value of the objective function by this simplex matrix after setting all the non-basic variable zeros and basic variable 1. This is the basic variable, we have written 1 here. This is the basic variable, we have written 1 here, and set all other variables 0. So we get the Y as 2 and X is 6, and optimal solution objective function is maximum value obtained is 18. So here is the solution, and your solution is complete.